What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. Y'all know the vibes. Kick back, relax, and come take a ride with me.
You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Recently, the Indiana Fever waived presumed to be backup point guard Grace Berger, hometown kid, and I feel bad because she never really got a true chance. Now, with all the free agents signing, they still have one position to address, and that is the backup point guard position. This is a position I think is an extremely deep position in the 2025 class, man. A lot of great point guards coming into this draft that aren't being talked about. Now, obviously, Paige Beckers, Olivia Miles, Georgia Moore, the list goes on, Cheyenne Sellers. These are elite guards in this class that are running teams, but also being relied upon to score the basketball. It's a dream. The Fever will not have a chance to get either of these players with the 19th pick, but there are some underrated, unheralded stars that are putting up even bigger numbers than some of the guards that I just mentioned. So in this video, I want to break down 5 guards that I think are underrated that the Indiana Fever must consider drafting to be Caitlin Clark's backup. First off, I want to start off with a name that many of you are familiar with in the college basketball world. That is Hailey Van Lith. Yes, I know she got cooked all last season at LSU, fell off the face of the earth, lost her starting spot to Last Terpoa, bad scoring, couldn't run the team with LSU, didn't work. We know, yada, 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 yada. That was last season. This season, if you don't know, now you're about to find out. Hailey Van Lith is back, and she has been one of the best point guards in the country, hands down. Hailey Van Lith has been known as a prolific scorer since she entered the college basketball ranks, averaging over 19 a game before she transferred from Louisville to LSU. She has completely bet on herself and reinvented her game, and I think upped her draft stock to the point where she wasn't even listed on many mock drafts. I think she would be the steal of the draft potentially for the Fever. This season, running the show at TCU, she's averaging a career high at 5.9 assists per game. She's also scoring it at 18.7 points per game and rebounding a career high at 4.5 rebounds per game, shooting 45% from the field. Pick and roll, she's been elite. Establishing herself, she's got her swagger back, her confidence. She's been out there hunting her shot, getting to her spots, taking people off the dribble, getting to the cup, playing bully ball at 5'9". Pure shot maker, one of the best mid-range games. She can come off the bench, provide instant offense, gets to her spots, can create her own shot off the dribble, but also proven at 5.9 assists per game. The court vision is there, the timely delivery. She can pick apart a defense in the pick and roll. Great decision maker. She has really showed that she can be a lead guard this season with TCU, leading the Horned Frogs to all-time highs as far as rankings and program history. Hailey Van Lith is a name that is also very popular. People would show up to see her. She would fit in this group culturally. I think she's a veteran. She would provide leadership already from the get-go as far as being a professional, holding herself accountable, and just staying focused, man. So that was my number one. She's played in a lot of big games. She's a fifth-year senior. She's battle-tested. She can play minutes. She can play off ball, she can play on ball. She's proven that, she's interchangeable. And as far as like a backup point guard, you want somebody that can run the show. You want somebody that can create their own offense and give relief to the starters. Hailey Van Lith is definitely a player that can do that. My number 2 pick right here, Lucy Olsen. We know she just set the world on fire, leading Iowa over USC at Caitlin Clark's jersey retirement. My goodness, she is a walking bucket. You talk about prolific scorers. She was 3rd in the nation in scoring last season, only to Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins. She transferred to Iowa after 3 years at Villanova and was instantly deemed as Caitlin Clark's replacement. So why not be her teammate next? Lucy Olsen, another walking bucket that can create off the dribble, 3-level scorer, has proven that she can run a team at Iowa as well, being one of the lead playmakers of this group. But mostly she's known for her offense, man. And I just love her shot-making ability. She's not afraid to take big shots. 5'10", she can hit them contested, off balance. Like, she is just a natural shot maker. She averages 5 assists as well. Now, the turnovers have been an issue. You want to see her take better control of the basketball, but that is what happens when you're getting so much usage and you relied upon so much to create offense for yourself and others. She's shooting at 43% from the field. She also rebounds it pretty well at position at 3.5 rebounds per game. Absolute shot maker, shot taker, will absolutely provide an instant spark off the bench. Some people, they're worried about her burst, her athleticism. Same thing that Caitlin Clark went through. Is she going to be quick enough, crafty enough to create space to get these shots off at the next level? I absolutely think she will. And I also think she's an underrated defender as well on ball. Lucy Olsen comes in experienced, she's a senior. She has played in a lot of big games. She's been the number one option. She's deferred. She can proven that she can run a team. And I think she would be an instant impact player for the Fever with her size, her length, her play style, being able to get up and down the court, shoot the 3-ball, quick release. And also she can read a defense and pick it apart in the pick and roll as well. Next up, one of the most underrated guards in the country who has produced every year she's been in the collegiate game. That's JJ Quinerly out of West Virginia, man. She has the Mountaineers ranked. They've won some big games. She's probably the best defender on this list that we'll talk about as far as perimeter defense. She had one game with 8 steals, man. Like, when you talk about lockdown defender and something that the Fever really struggled with last season, you put a backup point guard with this group like Quinerly who can, one, explosive, get to the bucket at will, at 19.2 points per game, 3.1 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. She shoots at 42.8% from the field. Now, she doesn't have the 3-point capability that the other two have, but she can hit an open 3, and she hits them in rhythm if you leave her open. She's a player, in my opinion, that's gotten better every year that she's been in the college game. But first step, taking what the defense gives, her patience and her poise really stand out to me. Her basketball IQ, she takes care of the basketball. It could be better, but at the same time, she's getting a lot of usage at West Virginia as well. But when you talk about just a straight competitor, a dog on both sides of the floor, she can score it 3 levels, gets to the cup. She's really a good slasher, and with the Fever having so many shooters, they need an athletic guard that can get to the cup, that can defend, that can put pressure on opposing defenses as well, getting downhill in transition. Quinerly is super underrated. This is a very realistic pick when you talk about production and just her being underrated, like not being mentioned in any mock drafts. They could get her at 19 or 20, to be honest with you. But Quinerly is an impact player. The Fever need defense, perimeter players that can score the basketball, run the pick and roll, and also just create for others among themselves, man. And Quinerly checks all those boxes, and the jump shot can always improve. The biggest big-time scorer on this list this season, though, man, Izzy Higginbottom, the transfer out of Arkansas State, has taken the SEC by storm, leading the SEC in scoring. She is a walking bucket. When you talk about just shot maker, shot taker, shot maker, Izzy's the one, man. She's great. Like, limitless range, shoots the deep ball well. And what I like about her is her versatility too. Even as a smaller guard, she's proven that she can play alongside other point guards. Like, she's constantly moving without the basketball. She's a great catch and shoot player. I think that she uses the pick and roll well. Like, not overly athletic, but super crafty. Also is a reliable finisher at the cup, man. Like, she really gets downhill, can put the defender on her shoulder and make it a long night. She uses ball fakes really well, super crafty, creating space and getting her shot off. And I just think that she does a good job of playing to her strengths, knowing what she's good at, and sticking to that. On the year, it's been a big year for her in the SEC, man. In her first year transferring to a rebuilding Arkansas squad, she's averaging 24.3 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.8 assists, shooting 46.6% from the field at 5'7", 3-level scorer. Definitely can average more assists. Like, they rely on her scoring so much. She has to put the ball in the basket. So she's got this team on her back, but she's definitely a capable creator. Good court vision. Nice snap on the passes that she's delivering. Runs the floor well as far as getting out in the fast break and reading defenses and picking them apart, but really, really instant offense. I think her game translates really well. She's another guard that's producing major numbers, over 24 points per game, and isn't really getting a lot of love from WNBA scouts. This is another realistic pick for the Fever if they're looking for instant offense, a player that can complement their play style. I think she's similar to Grace Berger in the fact that she's an elite scorer, but also, can be relied upon as a playmaker. If she has to shift more in that role, she can play off ball. She defends pretty well. Also, definitely not like a liability out there on defense. And playing in a conference like the SEC and still giving out straight work, you got to salute the level of competition that she's doing this against. Rounding out our list is a guard that some had in their top 10 before the ACL tear. That's Rory Harmon. Now, she's come back with a vengeance. She looks just as explosive, but the numbers are down. Other than the three-point shooting, which is the best of her career right now, all the other numbers are kind of down. And I mean, that's expected. She missed most of last year, and she's coming back to reestablish herself to a team with Madison Booker that she's not dominating the basketball. Like, the entire identity of Texas changed while she was out with that injury. When she came back, she's second in the SEC in assists. She's probably the best passer on this list. Just a natural playmaker, pass-first guard. She's averaging 10 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 6.3 assists, shooting at 40.8% from the field. Rory Harmon is also an elite defender and really pesky, great hands, great lateral movement, super quick with the basketball, nice first step, 3-level scorer as well, gets to her spots, really nice floater. And I think like Quinerly, man, she could be very valuable just from her defense. Like, that may be what gets her on the court first, but also you're talking about another experienced guard that's really, really elite in the pick and roll, which is the WNBA is so dominated by the pick and roll right now. You need a guard that has played in big games, that can control the basketball, that doesn't turn it over a lot. She probably averages the least amount of turnovers out of anybody that we mentioned on this list, but I think she's shown resiliency, carries herself very well, was a great teammate while she was out with that injury. And I think character is something that you definitely have to look at when you're bringing a new player into a culture that's still truly looking for its identity with the Indiana Fever. But I love Rory Harmon's tenacity, her competitiveness, her natural leadership. She's cool, calm, and collected whenever she's on the court, and her teammates always speak highly about her, man. Like, she's really beloved at Texas. So I think that's a player that can contribute immediately, that is tough with the basketball, that will adapt to the fast pace and physicality of the WNBA, maybe more so better than any guard on this list. She's definitely a sleeper as well, and she could be, her fall could be a blessing for the Indiana Fever, man, because when you talk about upside and what she was doing last year, getting National Player of the Year recognition, and then seeing her fall and her stock probably crash more than just about any prospect in this draft, you're not seeing her in the first round anymore. So that could be a luck up for the Fever, who also can give her time to adjust and don't have to throw her in the fire immediately. So those are 5 guards that I'm looking at that the Fever absolutely should consider drafting and take a hard look at to be Caitlin's backup, so she's not getting run into the floor this year and playing every minute of the game. But y'all let me know how y'all feel, and any other names y'all want to throw in, holler at me. That is a wrap for us. For all the latest and the greatest, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff, and join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Till next time, hey, we out.